accident. Okay, so the workman compensation is a reserve which is made out of profit to compensate the employees. Now we have discussed that if workman compensation reserve is made by the firm, let's suppose of rupees 10 lakh, and out of this there is a possibility only this much of the amount has been claimed. 3 months is actually claimed by the employee as a workman compensation. Then in such a situation, the remaining 7 lakh will be divided among in the old profit sharing ratio. And similarly, if let's suppose if no claim is made by employees on account of workman compensation, then the entire amount will be distributed among the partners in the old profit sharing ratio. 10 lakh, the entire amount will get divided among the partners in the old PSR. And let's suppose if the compensation is of rupees 10 lakh, then in such a case, no amount will be distributed, no distribution will be made among the partners. And there may be a possibility that the compensation is actually for more than the amount of reserve made. So let's suppose if the firm have made a reserve of rupees 10 lakh and the actual claim made by the employee is of rupees 12 lakh, then in such a situation, the extra amount, the additional amount that is being claimed will be contributed by all the partners in their old profit sharing ratio. Got it? So this is all these points we have covered in the last session. We have also completed one or two questions based on the same concept. We have other than considering the meaning of the workman compensation reserve, we did these questions, question number 76 and 77. So I hope question number 76 and 77 is clear to all of you. And one question I gave you for your homework, question number 78 I gave as a homework to all of you. So have you guys tried this question or not? Tell me whether you guys have done it or not, or
Yes.
anybody is having any problem with this question. If anyone want me to do this question, I can do it now. If anybody hasn't completed this question, then I can solve this question. Please let me know if anyone is not able to complete this one. Please confirm now whether you guys have done it or not, other than Alexander. Why no one is responding?
Sir, I completed.
You completed it. Okay, all right. Heba, Mariam Ahmed, Abel. Please confirm whether you guys have completed this or not. Okay, okay, all right.
Solve it once.
Okay, no problem. All right, guys. So we will be solving the question number 78 again. Oh, so I guess there is some network issue from my side. Therefore, your audio is lagging. Anyways, let's do it. Question number 78. I'll be solving question number 78 for all of you. Question number 78. Just a minute. Give me a moment. Solution to question number 78. So in this question, question is stating the old ratio of the partner 5:3:2. Then the new profit sharing ratio is also given 2:3:5. Workman compensation reserve appears to be 1,20,000, but the actual amount of claim made by the employees 1,50,000. That means the compensation is more than the amount of reserve created by the firm. So in such a situation, see, we will pass the general entry. like this. First of all, we will write down workman workman compensation reserve account debit to workman compensation claim. However, we have made a reserve for rupees 1,20,000 only, right? But claim was actually made for rupees 1,50,000. So obviously there is a difference between the amount of reserve that we have made and the compensation claim. So the difference arising will be debited to the valuation account. Difference arising in the workman compensation reserve and the amount of rupees 30,000. Na? So revaluation account will be debited. Revaluation account will be debited by additional 30,000. So, and the narration will be written as being workman compensation claim. All right, this will be the first entry. But since we are having a loss of rupees 30,000, made a reserve for rupees 1,20,000, but the amount of compensation that we are required to pay is 1,50,000. That means we are having a loss of 30,000. Now this loss is going to be compensated by all the partners in their old profit sharing ratio. So that means we will be debiting the partners capital account. Who are the partner? Ashok, Bhim and Chetan are partners, right? So we'll write down Ashok. Ashok's capital account will be debited. Ashok's capital account debit. Then Bhim and Chetan's capital account will also be debited. Bhim's capital account debit and Chetan's capital account will also be debited. Two, we will credit the revaluation account. That means we are distributing all the losses that have arisen compensation to the old partners in the old profit ratio. So that means Ashok is going to bear 30,000 into what was the profit sharing ratio of the Ashok. The profit sharing ratio for Ashok was 5/10. The old profit sharing ratio for Ashok was 5/10. So that means 5/10, that is 15,000. And similarly 30,000 into 3/10, that means 9,000 will be borne by Bhim. And similarly 2/10 will be borne by Mr. Chetan. So it will be 6,000. Got it, everyone? So this is how this question will be solved. First of all, we will pass this general entry: the workman compensation reserve account debited, the valuation account debit to workman compensation. Then the amount of loss that firm is bearing will be divided among the partners in the old profit sharing ratio. All right, I hope this question is clear to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Clear.
All right, so this is all about the question number 78, and it was all about workman compensation reserve. Now we will be talking about our next topic. I think there's some problem with my camera. Just a minute, give me a minute.
Sir, when you turn on the camera, it is lagging more. I think it is better if you turn it up.
Okay. So when I turn on my camera, it makes the video more laggy.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So all right, then let's continue the session without camera. Okay. So the next thing that we need to discuss in today's session is the investment fluctuation reserve. So investment fluctuation reserve is more or less like the workman compensation reserve. The treatment of the investment fluctuation reserve is also similar to the workman compensation. But let me first explain what is actually the investment fluctuation reserve is. So, okay, just a minute. All right, so investment fluctuation reserve is just like workman compensation reserve. Investment fluctuation reserve is also part of profit. It is also investment fluctuation reserve is also made out of profit, made out of profit of the firm. Sir, but what is the purpose of the investment fluctuation reserve? See, the purpose of investment fluctuation reserve is to compensate the losses arising on account of change in the market value of the investment. Compensate, the purpose is to compensate the losses, compensate the loss that arise on account of fluctuation in the market price of the investment. Okay, so investment fluctuation reserve is what? It is a reserve which is made out of profit, and the purpose of this reserve is to compensate the loss that may arise on account of fluctuation taking place in the market in the value of the investment. So let me explain this through an example. Let's suppose we have made an investment. The value of investment of the business, value of the investment made by the firm is of rupees. Let's suppose it is of rupees 5 lakhs. Okay, this is the value of investment, and this is basically showing in the balance sheet. Just a minute. So when you will draw the balance sheet, you will notice that investments are always shown on the asset side of the balance sheet. So let's suppose this is the asset side of the balance sheet, and on the asset side, investment is being reflected in the balance sheet. Okay, so there is an investment of rupees 5 lakh, but all right, so the value of investment is 5 lakh, but we are doubtful that the value of investment may change depending upon the change in the market condition. So let's suppose currently the value of the investment is 5 lakh. The investment when it is made on the date of investment, the value of the investment was 5 lakh. But there is a possibility in future that the market value of the investment, may it may increase, right? The market value may increase. So if the market value increases, if the market value of the investment increases, that is obviously a favorable situation from the firm's point of view, since increase in the market value will lead to the increase in the profit as well. So let's suppose the value of investment on the date of investment was 5 lakh, but currently the current market value of the investment is of rupees 6,50,000. That means the value of investment increases by 1,50,000. Is that right? So do you think this situation is problematic for the partners or for the firm's point of view? If the market value of the investment is increasing, it is a favorable situation. It is not at all a situation of problem, right? So partners will not be concerned whenever there is an increase in the market value of the investment. But what if the market value of the investment decline? Let's suppose the market value of the investment, it may also decrease now. So let's suppose the value of the investment may also decrease. So if it decreases, let's suppose the value of the investment goes down to 3 lakh. All right, so this means there is going to be a loss of how much? There is going to be a loss of, tell me how much? Of 2 lakh. Is that correct? Guys, please tell me if I'm making sense or not, if it is clear or not. The value of the investment of the firm is 5 lakh, but due to the market fluctuation, the rate of the value of the investment may increase and it may also decrease. If the market value of the investment increases, this obviously is a profitable situation. Partners be concerned about the situation of profit. It is a favorable situation for the partners. But what if the market value of the investment declines? So this is going to create a loss. All right, so this is a problematic situation. So what partners do, sometimes partners make a reserve. Sometimes partners make a reserve, which is called investment fluctuation reserve. Considering the market volatility, sometimes the partner decided to keep a proportion of the profit as the investment fluctuation reserve. The purpose of this investment fluctuation reserve is to compensate the loss that may arise on account of the change in the market value of the investment. So let's suppose the reserve made by the business of rupees of 4 lakh. The reserve made by the partners is of rupees 4 lakh. That means if the value of the investment declines to 3 lakh, that means there is going to be a loss. Loss of how much? Tell me, in this case, how much is going to be the loss for the partners, for the business, or for the firm? If the market value of the investment declines from 5 lakh to 3 lakh, tell me how much of is the loss that firm is going to suffer?
2 lakhs.
2 lakh. If the loss is of 2 lakh and we have made a reserve of rupees 4 lakh, right? So that means the 2 lakh, the loss of rupees 2 lakh can be compensated from the amount of reserve, yes or no? Whether the firm will be able to compensate this loss, set off this loss out of the reserve that the firm have already made? Answer is yes. But tell me, the amount of reserve is of rupees how much? The amount of reserve is of rupees 4 lakh.
4 lakh.
But the loss the firm has actually suffered is of only rupees 2 lakh, right? If the loss is of rupees 2 lakh and the reserve that we have made is 4 lakh, that means the remaining 2 lakh, what are we going to do with the remaining 2 lakh of reserve? Tell me, what are we going to do with the remaining 2 lakh of reserve? We can divide this amount now. Since the loss in the investment value of investment is of rupees 2 lakh and we have made a reserve of 4 lakh, so that means the remaining amount of reserve can be disputed among the partner. Is that right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Tell me everyone, is this clear or not? If anybody is not getting this point, I can explain the entire thing one more time. But please confirm whether this point is clear, all of you, or not.
Sir, can you explain it again?
Right, sure. See. Yeah, sure. Just a minute. Give me a minute. Let me try this one more time. Let's suppose what I'm saying is that, let me give you another example. Let's suppose the amount of investment made by the firm, the value of the investment is of rupees 5 lakh. But firm is of opinion that the value of the investment may decrease in the future, right? The value of the investment may also increase, value of the investment may also decrease. If the value of investment increases in market, that is obviously a profitable situation, and firm won't be concerned about the profits, right? If it is going to be a profitable situation, the profit generated by the the profit are generated on account of increase in the value of the investment, such profit will be divided among the partners anyways. But the thing is that how are we going to deal with a situation when the value of the investment declines? Value of the investment is of rupees 5 lakh, but let's suppose due to the market fluctuation, the value of the investment declines to only, let me give you an example. Let's suppose the market value of the current market value of investment, current market value of investment remains 4,50,000, and we have a reserve of rupees 80,000. Got it, everyone? So the value of investment is 5 lakh. The reserve that we have made is 80,000. That means we are ready to accept the loss till the value of 80,000. Market value of the assets, market value of the investment declines to 4,50,000. That means, tell me, we have a loss of how much? The value of the investment, which was 5 lakh, reduced to 4,50,000. That means we are having a loss. Tell me the value of the loss. Value of loss is 50,000. Is that right? Is it correct, everyone? If the value of
Yes,
investment is 5 lakh, market value of the investment is 4,50,000, that means we are having a loss of 50,000. Is that correct, everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now tell me whether we will be able to compensate this loss out of the reserve that we have already made. To what extent we are able to set off the losses? To what extent we will be able to compensate the losses? To the extent of 80,000, right? But we are having a loss of 50,000 only. Is that right? So that means out of 80,000, the reserve that we have made, out of the reserve of 80,000, we will be able to adjust 50,000 toward the loss of the investment. Loss of investment. This amount, this 50,000 will be adjusted toward the loss on investment. But the remaining 30,000, can it be distributed among the partners? Yes or no? The remaining 30,000, can the partners will be able to distribute this much of profit among themselves in the old profit sharing ratio? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that is what I was telling. Everyone is clear now? Is it clear, everyone? Khushi, Mariam, Abin,
Yes, sir.
Hiba.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So, okay, so there are various possible situation in case of investment fluctuation reserve. Let me discuss all the possible situation. Let's suppose the value of investment is 2 lakhs, right? And case number one, situation could be market value of investment is equal to 2 lakh, and also presume that the reserve, investment fluctuation reserve that we have made is of rupees 50,000. All right. Market value of the investment is 2 lakh. Second situation could be where the market value of the investment could be less than 2 lakh. That means market value of the investment only remains 1 lakh, oh sorry, 1 lakh 60,000. Third situation could be wherein the market value of the investment is more than 2 lakh, that means 2 lakh, the current market value of the investment is 2,40,000. Tell me everyone, is this clear? There are these are the possible situation. That means the value of the investment is 2 lakh, but the current market price could be equal to the amount of investment that we have made. Market value of the investment may be less than the investment value of the investment, or it could be more than the value of investment, right? These are the possible cases. So let's discuss this point first. Sorry. Let's discuss this point, the case number A. Tell me if the value of investment is 2 lakh and the current market value of the investment is also 2 lakh. So tell me whether there is a profit or there is a loss. Tell me. If the market value of the investment is 2 lakh and the value and the amount of investment made by the firm was also 2 lakh. So the current market price and the cost price of the investment both are equal. So tell me whether there is a loss or there is a profit for the firm.
Sir, profit.
There is a profit.
No.
In terms from the viewpoint, just tell me the profit or loss considering the value of the investment. The value of the cost price of the investment was 2 lakh. Still the market value of the investment is same, 2 lakh. So there is no reduction, there is no increase in the value of the investment. That means there is neither a profit nor there is a loss. Is that clear, everyone? There is no profit, there is no loss. Am I clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So it simply means that the entire amount of reserve will remain as it is. That means the entire amount of reserve can be distributed among the partners. The entire 50,000 can be distributed among the partners, yes or no? If the market value of the investment and the cost of investment both are equal, then the entire 50,000 partner will be able to distribute the entire 50,000 to themselves, among themselves in the old profit sharing ratio, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now tell me, let's talk about the second situation. What if the cost of investment was 2 lakh and the current market value of the investment is 1,60,000. So tell me whether there is a loss or profit. Loss or profit. Tell me.
So can you repeat the question
It is a
again?
situation of value of the investment was 2 lakh. The amount, the investment on the date of investment, value of investment on the date and on the date of investment was 2 lakh, but the current market value of the investment is only 1,60,000. So tell me whether the value of the investment increase or reduces. It is
Sir,
reducing, na? Correct.
Yes, sir.
So tell me whether there is a loss or a profit. There is a
Sir,
loss of 40,000,
Loss.
right?
Yeah, loss
So
of
now
40.
tell me how much of this loss can be compensated, can be adjusted through the value of the reserves. How much of the loss can be adjusted through reserve? 40,000 can be adjusted through reserve, yes or no? Entire 40,000 can be adjusted through reserve. And after adjusting the reserve to compensate the losses, how much of the reserve will still be left?
10,000.
10,000 of the reserve will still be left. Then this, what we will be doing with the remaining 10,000? We can divide it among the partners in the old profit sharing ratio. Am I clear? Distribute
Sir,
among partner in the old piece.
is used to compensate, right?
Sorry.
Sir, that 10,000 is distributed among the partners. So it compensates the.
No. See, we have made a reserve to compensate the losses arising in the value of the investment. So there is a loss of 40,000 only, but we have made a reserve of 50,000. So that means we have made a reserve of extra 10,000. What I'm asking is that what are we going to do with the remaining 10,000 that is not adjusted toward the losses of the investment? So the remaining 10,000 can be distributed among the partner, na? In the old profit sharing ratio, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It can be distributed.
Okay. Now the third situation could be, instead of decrease in the value of the investment, market value of the investment may also increase. If the market value of the investment increases, in such a situation, there is a profit, right? There is a profit of how much? 2 lakh. The value of the investment value of rupees 2 lakh increases to 2,40,000. That means we have a profit of 40,000. Is that right? Tell me, is that correct? There is a profit of 40,000 in case number 3. If the value of investment increased to 2,40,000 from 2 lakh, that means we have a profit of 40,000. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And if we have
Yes,
a
sir.
profit, then first of all, tell me, first of all, this entire amount of profit will be distributed to the partners, right? Distributed to partners, number 1. And the reserve which is not, which is still remaining, which is still pending, which is still at 50,000, because reserve is not used now. So the entire amount of reserve will also be distributed among the partners. Distributed among the partners. Am I right? The profit on increase in the value of the investment will also be distributed among the partner, and the amount of reserve which is not adjusted toward the loss of investment, the such reserve will also be distributed among the partners. Got it, everyone? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Now, okay. So let's now discuss a few questions based on the same concept. First of all, just read the definition of the fluctuation reserve. Investment fluctuation reserve is a reserve created out of the profit to meet the fall in the market value of the investments. It is created to adjust the book value and the market value of the investment. Access of investment fluctuation reserve over the difference between the book value and the market value is credited to the old partners in their old profit sharing ratio. That is what I was explaining. If there is a difference in the market value of the investment and the book value of the investment, that means cost of investment, then in such a situation, if such difference is creating a loss, then such loss will be compensated, adjusted through the fluctuation reserve. If the reserve is still remaining after paying towards the losses of the investment, then the remaining amount of reserve can be distributed among the partners in the old profit sharing ratio. All right, so let's quickly do 1 or 2 questions based on the same concept. Okay, so we'll start with question number 79. Number 1, question 79 is saying that A, B, and C, who are presently sharing the profit and losses in the ratio of 5:3:2, decide to share the future profit and losses in the ratio of 2:3:5. All right, that means there is a reconstitution is taking place in the firm because the profit sharing ratio is changing. Give the general entry to distribute the investment fluctuation reserve of rupees 20,000. Okay, so we need to give the general entry to distribute the investment fluctuation reserve at the time of change in the profit sharing ratio, when investment market value was rupees 95,000, appears in the book at rupees 1 lakh. Okay, so question is telling that the book value of the investment is rupees 1 lakh. Book value of the investment is rupees 1 lakh, and the market value of the investment is how much? 95,000. And then we have made an investment fluctuation reserve of rupees 20,000 also. So let me just summarize all these points. Question 17. First of all, just tell me what is the book value of the investment? Book value of investment.
1 lakh.
That means the cost of investment is rupees 1 lakh. That is given in the question. Okay. Other than the value of investment, market value of the investment is also given. Yes or no? Market value of investment is how much? Market value of investment
95,000.
is how much? It is 95,000. Right. And tell me the amount of the investment fluctuation reserve. Investment fluctuation reserve is
20,000.
also given. Investment fluctuation reserve. Yes, investment fluctuation reserve is of rupees 20,000. Okay. And old profit sharing ratio is relevant, is important for us. New profit sharing ratio is not important. So let me also write down old PSR. Old profit sharing ratio is given as, let me check. It is 5:3:2. 5:3:2. This is the old profit sharing ratio. Now tell me, looking at all the information given to you, just tell me if the market value of the investment is 95,000 and the book value of the investment is rupees 1 lakh. So is it clear that the market value of the investment is less than the book value of the investment? This is clear, na? Book value of investment is more than the market value. That means there is a loss. Am I clear? There is a loss of how much? Tell me, everyone. If the book value of investment is 1 lakh and the market value of the investment is 95,000, tell me the amount of loss.
5,000.
Everyone else, is it clear to all of you? Yes or no? Why nobody else is responding? Khushi, Hiba, Mariam, Abin. Is it clear that the book value of the investment, if book value of investment is 1 lakh and the market value of the investment only remains 95,000, that means there is a decrease in the value of the investment by rupees 5,000. So that there is a loss of 5,000, na? And since we have made a reserve of rupees 20,000, which is in excess of the loss, right, which is in excess of the loss that we have incurred. So in such a situation, we will be passing the journal entry like this. Pay close attention, try to understand. If anyone is not able to understand anything, do let me know. Journal entries. See, first of all, investment fluctuation reserve is going to be debited. Investment fluctuation reserve, just like workman compensation reserve used to be debited, similarly investment fluctuation reserve will also be debited. Investment fluctuation reserve account debit to tell me, to the value of investment, to investment. Now tell me, value of investment decreases by how much? It reduces by only 5,000, and the amount of reserve that we have made is of rupees 20,000. So we'll write down 20,000 here. And since there is a loss in the value of investment by rupees 5,000 only, so we are going to credit the value of the investment by only 5,000. Crediting the value of the investment basically means we are reducing the value of the investment by 5,000. Since the market value of the investment is declined, na, market value of the investment declined from 1 lakh to 95,000. So in order to reduce the value of the investment, what we need to do, we will be crediting the investment account. So investment to investment account will be credited by 5,000. Got it, everyone? 20,000 debit, and out of 20,000 we have adjusted 5,000 toward the decrease in the value of the investment. Now tell me, what are we going to do with the remaining 15,000? What are we going to do with the remaining 15,000? Tell me, everyone. Out of 20,000, 5,000 has been adjusted toward the decrease in the value of the investment, right? But now what are we going to do with the remaining 15,000?
Distribute among partners.
Distribute among partner in what ratio? In the old profit sharing ratio. So we'll write down 2 all the partners capital account will be credited na to A's capital account, to B's capital account, to C's capital account, right? And because we need to distribute 15,000 to all the partners in the old profit sharing ratio, so we'll do the calculation like this: 15,000, 5 by 10 for A, 15,000 into 3 by 10 for B, and 15,000 into 2 upon 10 for C. So that means A is going to get 7,500, 4,500, and then 3,000. And you can also write down the narration being investment fluctuation reserve, adjusted and distributed among partners. Among partners in old profit sharing ratio. Okay, so this is the general entry for the question number 79. Tell me everyone if it is clear or not.
Yes, sir, clear.
Alexander,
Clear, sir.
my audio is still lagging.
Clear, sir.
Sir, your audio is still lagging.
Okay. I don't know why, but there seems to be some problem from my end. Network connection is weak, I guess. Anyway, so this was all about question number 79, and I have one more question. Question number 70. So question number 70 is stating that Nitin, Tarun, and Amar are partners sharing the profits equally and decided to share the profits in the ratio of 2:1. So there is a change in the profit sharing ratio. That means reconstitution is taking place. The extract of the balance sheet is given. Investment at cost is given to us in the balance sheet. Investment at cost is 4 lakh, and the reserve that we have made to compensate the loss in the market arising due to the fluctuation in the market value of the investment is rupees 60,000. The reserve is of rupees 60,000. Now we have been provided with different cases. These are different cases. We have to deal each cases differently, separately. All right. So in the first situation, the market value is not given. So tell me, how are we going to deal with the investment fluctuation reserve when the investment, the market value of the investment is not given? Tell me, anyone, Heba, Mariam, or anyone else, please tell me, if the market value of the investment is not given, then how are we going to deal with the investment fluctuation reserve? What are we going to do with the investment fluctuation reserve? Guys, please confirm whether my audio is clear to all of you, and is my question clear to all of you or not. What I'm asking is that if the value of investment is 4 lakh and the amount of reserve that we have made is of rupees 60,000, but the market value of the investment is missing, it is not given. If the market value is not given, then how are we going to deal with the investment fluctuation reserve? What are we going to do with the amount of reserve? Tell me. Alexander,
Sir,
any guesses? Yes.
Sir, distribute among partners in old profit sharing ratio.
Correct. Since the current market value is not given at all, then the entire amount of reserve can be distributed among the partners. We can distribute entire amount of reserve among the partner in the old profit sharing ratio. So in the situation 1, what are we going to do? We will be dividing the, we will distribute all the reserve to the partners in the old profit sharing ratio. So could anyone please tell me what will be the general entry in the situation, in the case 1? What will be the general entry for case 1? The general entry for case 1 will be investment fluctuation reserve account will be debited to partners capital account. Nitin account, Tarun account, and Amar's account will be credited. And this 60,000 will be distributed among all the partners in the old profit sharing ratio. Is that clear? Please tell me if it is clear or not, Hiba and everyone else. Abin.
Yes.
Since the market value is not given, then we will be distributing the entire amount of 60,000 among all the partners. Okay. And in the second situation, market value is of rupees 4 lakh. So the value of the investment, book value of the investment, and the market value of the investment both are equal. So there is no profit, there is no loss. Then it means this time also we are in a position to distribute the entire amount of reserve among the partners in the old profit sharing ratio again. So the entire amount of 60,000 will again be divided among the partners. Is that clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Case number 3 is where the market value of the investment, instead of decreasing, it increases to 4,24,000. Right. So that means there is a profit of rupees 24,000. So this time we need to pass 2 general entries. First of all, the first general entry will be revaluation. Sorry, the investment account will be debited to revaluation account. Investment account debit to revaluation account 24,000. And then the entire amount of fluctuation reserve will be distributed among the partners in the old profit sharing ratio. And the amount of profit that we have generated on account of the rise in the value of the investment will also be distributed among the partners in the old profit sharing ratio. That means 24,000, which we have generated as a profit because of the increase in the market value of the investment, will also be distributed among the partner in the old PSR. And the 60,000 of reserve will also be distributed among the partner in the old PSR. Got it, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so guys, since we are out of time, I'm sorry I joined late today. I'm giving you question number 80 as your homework. I'm sure you will be able to solve 2-3 cases out of all the 5 cases in question number 80. But if you are not able to solve it, we'll be solving it in the next session. Question number 80 is your homework. Please take the screenshot of this question. I'm presuming that you will be able to solve 2 or 3 cases in this question, but if you are not able to solve it, we will be solving it in the next class. Okay, everyone, take the screenshot.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so this is your homework. This is it for today's class, and we will be discussing more about the investment fluctuation reserve, and we will start a new topic as well in the next class. But make sure you revise everything that we have done in the previous class: the workman compensation, the investment fluctuation reserve, and the calculation of the sacrificing and the gaining. In the next class, we are going to start probably the revaluation account. So make sure that you revise everything before attending the next session. Otherwise, our next session is going to be a difficult one for you. All right, so this is it. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending this session. Khushi, Mariam, Eba, and Alexander, you guys can sign out now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Bye.